Gather round, gather round. This is a story to get you through the long, cold night when it comes for you, like it has this night for us. Do you think we were the first to feel the cold? The first to see the ghosts wandering through the night? No! This has been happening since my grandfather's era, since a time before that. I'll tell you about when it began, when Bearfirth, the first of us, saw the Protector's light go dim and realized she was alone in the forest. There was a time before this one when the world was dark. There was nothing out there. No light, no trees, no birds, and no music. What horror! A great miasma of nothingness. Can you imagine such a place? Through this emptiness a woman crawled, alone, starving, lost. She only knew suffering, only knew the pain and grief. But she continued living because she did not know any other path. One day, she dreamt of great storms, trembling earth, turning wheels, and she woke to a new world, one of vibrance, of light, beautiful light, and beautiful green. Here, there were birds and beasts, the fruit and grains, the winding rivers and the great horn mountains. Where before there was nothing, now there was wonder all around. She was the first to walk in our world, our home. Thus, she came to know joy. But when the sun left the sky and night fell over the new land, she heard the whispers, the groans, the crunching footsteps of those abominable shades that haunt us still. She then came to know fear, and a dreadful fear it was. She fled into the dirt and the quiet places. Deeper she went, hounded by the foul voices, until she came upon something hidden and strange. There, in the dark, she found herself in the presence of a god. And so the first trade was conducted. The god granted her a madness, the madness to keep struggling in the face of fear. In exchange, she swore fealty to it. She swore to never forget what the god taught her. Then she climbed. She returned to the surface, and in her madness she fought those monsters that harrowed her. For 12 years she fought. Every day she would rest and enjoy the beautiful wonders of this world. And every night she would rise and battle the creatures that came to hunt her. She felled hundreds of them, yet they always returned. As time passed, she grew wise. Climbing to the high mountain tops, she called out in a clear voice that rang through the dales, and she called, "I am Bearfirth. I am mighty. If you hear my voice, come find me. Come look for me in the plains, in the forests, by the rivers. Find me, and you too will be mighty." And her voice was heard. Other men and women appeared. Those who had been hiding in the dirt and the roots, in the gray shadows. They heard her voice and were entranced. They followed it to its source and came together as a crowd before her. They were fearful and hungry. Now came the second trade. She offered them wisdom in exchange for strength. The people, desperate for guidance, agreed to the deal. Working together, Bearfirth and her companions built the first home. Those walls were made of only mud and stone, but the ghosts had not the power to overcome them when the sun left the sky. The people rejoiced when they saw this, but Bearfirth, upon realizing she would not have to battle anything that night, felt the years and years of exhaustion, once held back through willpower, now fall upon her as a flood. Collapsing to the ground, she knew her life was at an end. The people gathered around her, fearful and lost again at the thought of her leave-taking. They think they will have to return to the dirt and roots if she's gone. They think she pulls the morning into the sky. Seeing this, she makes the third trade, the final trade. She asks them, "Survive this night. Stay watchful, and do not give up yet. Do this for me, and my strength will be yours." Her people are hesitant, but they bind themselves to the trade. They keep watch. The shades scream and roar at them. Can you hear them? They're still out there, screaming at us now. But her people did not run. They have an oath to fulfill. They build the wall stronger and trust that Bearfirth will hold up her end of the bargain. When the sun finally returns, it finds them proud and cheering. At last they know the madness that Bearfirth knew. They learned that by fighting in the face of hopelessness, they can accomplish anything. With this newfound strength, they worked together and made a grand village, and they spread to distant lands, making villages and helping those hiding there. And always they remembered the long night and the sunrise that came afterwards. Hello there, and welcome back to Vintage Story. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you don't mind. I had a fairly busy week. I don't have time to record a proper video this week. So, I decided, let's finally get started on some of these lore videos. So, as you just heard, that was all 5 parts to the story, Morning. No, The Morning. Which corresponds with that poster? That's Nightfall. Where's Morning? That's Ambush. That's the Morning. I do have a plan to do more lore videos. I would like to do something more than just a simple retelling as I did in this episode. Whether that be getting some other people to help voice act lines with me, or doing some cinematic work with the camera and setting up scenes. It's a little beyond my skills and talents at the moment, so we'll see where that goes. But I have seen that Solston looks like he's got his own lore videos coming out. He has a trailer on his channel for a short film based on the Ghosts story. So, if you haven't, and I'd be surprised if you haven't seen him already, go check him out. Anyway, maybe you guys can help me. I'm having a bit of an issue. I have been going through, literally, I have 3 saves going on right now, trying to get all these different lore books. Because for whatever reason, in my creative world, the one where I built this house the first time, the lore books won't populate any more lore for me, and I've read through 24 or so different books, and they won't populate anymore. So I have huge gaps in the lore. For example, in this world, I only have 1 and 2 of the Morning. In my other world, I have 1, 2, 3, and 5. In a third world, I have 1, 2, 4. There are 5 chapters, 5 parts. And so I need 3 different worlds to get all the different lore. Anyway, so that's slowing me down a little bit, because I gotta keep jumping around different worlds to check to make sure I have all the lore, and it's not all listed. It's not all on the website either, on the Vintage Story wiki. So yeah, if you guys know something, because I've looked for command lines to unlock lore and I haven't seen anything. If you have any idea, I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, I guess I'm just gonna do it the hard way and keep making worlds until I get all the lore and can just gather it up in one spot. Until then, I think I'm done for today. As I said, I've had a busy weekend, didn't have much time to record. Next episode, I'm going to be working on the stained glass. But if you guys have ideas for what to go on that stained glass attached to my armory, I would love to hear it. And maybe I can use some of it. Until then, thank you for joining me today. I hope you've had a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Later. I didn't break my window, did I?